Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're digging into something the source material calls the second foundation of success.
That's right. It's all about the remembrance of Allah, or Adhkaar.
And our mission is to unpack how these sources connect personal piety, like your individual faith,
To a much bigger picture, a sort of communal moral duty. It really redefines success beyond just, yourself.
Yeah, it's a fascinating angle. The material doesn't treat faith as just a private thing.
Not at all. It's presented as almost an active ingredient in how society should work, your personal remembrance. It sets a kind of moral compass for everyone.
Okay, so how does that work? How does this personal remembrance, this Adhkaar, actually function according to the sources? They lay out 3 conditions.
Well, first and foremost, the absolute priority underpinning everything is seeking the pleasure of Almighty. That's number 1.
Right. That makes sense as a starting point.
And that priority then shapes the how. So the first condition is about structured practice, glorifying and praising through formal prayers and specific recitations, the Adhkaar.
Ah, the daily recitation.
Exactly. Done sitting, standing, lying down. The texts mention they're especially powerful after fajr, the dawn prayer, and before maghrib, the sunset one. It gives structure.
Okay, structure is important. But how does that structured practice connect to everyday life? What's the second condition?
Good question. The second is about embedding remembrance into your interactions, partly through language, like using phrases.
Bismillah, insha'Allah, that kind of thing.
Yes, those specific phrases. But even more deeply, the sources highlight patience. Patience is described as one of the greatest forms of remembrance.
Patience as remembrance. That's powerful. Not just waiting around.
No, it's active. Active self-control, moral resistance, you could say. And it's tied closely with gratefulness, deep gratitude.
Okay, patience and gratitude. And the third condition, that seems to bring it all together.
It does. The third is about manifesting remembrance in what you actually do. So abstaining from evil, actively doing good.
And this is where that communal idea comes in.
Precisely. This leads directly to the concept of Amr bil Ma'ruf wa Nahi anil Munkar,
Which means?
commanding what's right and forbidding what's wrong. It's presented as a daily essential responsibility for believers.
So if someone is really living this remembrance, what does it look like? The sources mention specific qualities, right?
Yes, they do. Surah Al-Anfal gives us 4 key markers of true believers, people whose remembrance is deep.
What are they?
Okay, first, when Allah is mentioned, their hearts feel fear, awe, perhaps. Second, when his revelations are recited, their faith actually increases.
And
Third, they place their complete trust in their Lord. And fourth, they're active. They establish worship. And crucially, they spend from what they've been given. They share their resources.
action and trust. And this remembrance is important in tough times, too.
Absolutely vital. The sources mention it specifically for maintaining courage and focus, like during major tests or even battles.
Okay, so that's the individual. Now, let's zoom out. What about the nation, the community? The sources seem to say individual effort isn't quite enough for, national success.
That's the critical step, yes. The whole community's dignity and well-being depend on this collective effort. There's a clear instruction. Help one another unto righteousness and pious duty.
And don't help each other towards sin.
Exactly. Help not one another unto sin and transgression. Believing men and women are called protecting friends. Alia, working together on this.
Protecting friends. I like that. So everyone's responsible for encouraging good and discouraging bad.
In principle, yes.
Great.
But the sources also direct the Islamic society to set up a specific group for this.
A dedicated force. Why?
It's described almost like a specialized human conscience for the community. Think of it as needing experts. This group must be religiously knowledgeable, rational, inspired.
And patient, I imagine.
Immensely patient. That's stressed. Because, and this is really crucial, they are explicitly not allowed to take the law into their own hands.
So no vigilantism.
Absolutely not. Their role is moral development, persuasion, guidance, building cohesion, not punishment or enforcement in that sense.
That's a very fine line to walk. A huge responsibility. Okay, let's try and wrap this up for you listening. The main takeaway here seems to be that success, in this view, comes from this deep remembrance leading to prayer, real effort, and this collective mission.
Of encouraging good and deterring evil, patiently.
And the ultimate goal, the sources say, is the victory of eternal life, which is described as much better than, the temporary life we have here.
That's the promise. And maybe a final thought to leave you with. This whole idea Cultivating virtue, encouraging good, hindering evil. The sources themselves point out it's not unique.
Oh.
They state this concept has been counseled repeatedly throughout history in divine revelations across major religions. It suggests a kind of universal wisdom about how individuals and societies flourish, something fundamental